GM.
GM.
Oh, we've got this. We're on. Welcome to the DAO Call, everyone. Um, it has been quiet on the snapshot again, but it looks like we are ramping up again for the new year. Ideas are coming out, forums are starting again, and it looks like things are getting back down to business. So our first and only snapshot that closed was the DAO Foundation Director election proposal. So congratulations to our new and old DAO Foundation directors. We have No Futuristic, Maxi Crouton, Brills, FaZe, Latin, Oliver Spoon, Hardcore, and Joiner, and Aavegotchi first. ETH was rolled over from replacing earlier in the year. So congratulations to everyone who made it through. And the DAO is grateful for your service. There are some details to be ironed out with how everyone is, or when the terms are going to be starting. So I don't know if we want to discuss them now or leave them till a tiny bit later, but welcome everyone. And we just have, there's a link in the thread there. We had some questions from the directors as to when to start the terms based on the wording of the prop, with the prop stating that the term should start as soon as the prop came in, but we haven't got KYC finished on our new directors, so we've got a bit of a grey area, and some questions have been asked as to payment. When should the term start? Should we wait for it to line up with the previous terms? So that means waiting until the beginning of March. And things like that. So if anyone has any ideas or comments, feel free to jump on up. Oh no, can no one hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh, hooray. Hooray. Well, looks like it's just FaZe. So yeah, we have a few directors here. Does anyone have, because we had three options proposed by Oliver Spoon as far as how to deal with payment, KYC, and term dates. So the previous directors were all paid. It looks like payment is in advance every quarter. So they were all paid at the beginning of December, which means they're not due again till March. But technically, the prop said the new term starts on the 11th. But without KYC completed for the new directors, we can't just have the term starting like that. So we're kind of in a gray area. So we have a thread open. Oh no, we don't have a thread open. We have plenty of comments in the DAO discussion, but if anyone has any strong opinions one way or the other, it looks like KYC doesn't take too long, which is good. And as far as I've seen in the discussion, the only thing that will make someone fail KYC would be living or residing in a sanctioned country, which hopefully is not something that would happen by surprise for anyone. So yeah, anyone has any strong thoughts, please jump into the forum, either the discussion or the director election thread that was there before. and we can work it out. Moving on from there, we do have an update from Zygo coming with Gladiator. So let me see if he's hanging out in the crowd here. I don't see him, so I guess we can wait. No, there he is. Zygo, if you're available, feel free to pop your hand up and we'll pull you on the stage for your update.
Hello, can you all hear me?
Hello, sir. Yes, I can hear you.
Great. GM, everybody. I just wanted to get on for a little bit today to kind of announce I've been working hard on Grid Gladiator and I released a big update today. I just want to kind of take you through the new features that I've added and then I'll drop a link for you to go check it out on itch.io. Let's see. So almost all the enemies have been upgraded with unique abilities. I've added 3 bosses to the game. Let me just give you a little screenshot of one of them here. There's a new terrain system. So now tiles, like you can see in that screenshot, can have different terrains on them. There's a variety of different effects, and so you kind of have to pay a little more attention to where you are on the battlefield and use them to your advantage. And here I have another screenshot for that one. There's now a card upgrade system where you can use these little stickers to upgrade your cards during the run. Added a whole bunch of new content for the community to unlock. So there's 20 new cards, 7 card upgrades, 5 terrain types. I also, since people requested it, added the ability to donate via crypto now. So, you know, if you have some old meme coin laying around or whatever, I have it hooked up to the CoinGecko API. So pretty much any coin you want to donate, it will check its price on CoinGecko and then credit that to the donation incentives. Ton of bug fixes and UI improvements, and let me just go ahead and drop the link here. To the itch.io page. Yeah, and yeah, so go check it out. Yeah, if anybody has any questions, I'm around, but that's all I have.
Very cool. That's looking really, really slick. I'm really liking those graphics.
Thanks. It's yeah, Ad Murren is my artist. I really like his aesthetic.
Very nice. So are these I don't know, terrains, they're matching the Gotchiverse kind of map, are they, or?
Well, so the biomes eventually will, like the beach is supposed to be the South Beach biome, but the terrain tiles themselves, I probably will add in like Alchemica tiles at some point. I just haven't got around to that yet.
All good, all good. Definitely curious to try this one out. It looks great. And it's lovely. It's awesome to see. I've been keeping an eye on your server there, how you're posting updates. I think it's nearly every week, so it's always nice to see
Yeah, I
you
usually
letting us know
post
what's
update
happening.
like 3 times a week. So if you're interested in kind of the details about it, go join the Discord, and I post there pretty often.
Awesome. Thank you very much, sir. So, does anyone have any questions they want to hit Saigo with while he's here? Everyone's those sprites are looking great. So August has a question here. When's the first playable version? He missed part of it.
Oh, it's playable right now. That's what the itch link is about. You just go to the itch.io page and you can try it out right now.
And am I looking right? There's 15 levels we can access now.
Right. Runs are 15 levels long right now. That may change as time goes on, but right now it's 12 normal levels and 3 boss levels in between.
Very cool. Awesome. Well, I will definitely be checking that one out. It is looking great. Thanks for coming in with the update and looking forward to seeing more updates coming very regularly.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, sir. So let's see. The next thing we have on the agenda is, well, we're going to have the gamified staking. So we've already dived into that. So if anyone's managed to get their head around the idea and has some questions they want to hit Coda down with, that would be a great time.
Yep, I'm here if anyone wants to go over it live for a little bit. This is, again, part of the yield here is there's an assumption that this will go live on Geist and that other games in the ecosystem will also be providing kind of yield back into the pool. So it becomes kind of like a public good, if you will. I could see eventually the DAO could, have gotchis it's also staking, or there's members staking on behalf of the DAO doing this, and we could potentially, like, the current 3.5% of rewards could all go back to the staking program to really help make it more sustainable. The idea being that, if Ghost is being locked up, that's potentially good for Ghost, which is also good for the DAO. When will this be implemented? Well, first I want to see if there's it is, like, it's not trivial amount of bandwidth for the team to do. So I just want to see if there is interest from the community before we go and actually do the implementation of it. Don't want to just make something that we think could work or give it a chance, but it's not a trivial dev investment. So I'm gonna put this. I've got this thread out, and we'll leave it open for some conversation over the next couple weeks for the DAO. Get some feedback on the proposal, and then I'll make the proposal. It's not really it doesn't really need to be an agip, although I can. But really, we just want to get a temperature check from the community. Are you excited about this idea? This be something that is contracted out to the community? I think it could be. I mean, the contract is pretty complex, so whoever does it will have to. We definitely want to have multiple eyes on it. It's not a. It's not like a fairly. It's like, I would say, medium difficulty smart contract. Obviously, AI is very helpful in writing a lot of it, but AI doesn't know what it doesn't know, so it often trips itself up pretty easily. CryptoGotchi, yeah, we can make it an agip. It's that's fine. We just want to get more of a temperature check if the community is interested in this, but happy to make it an AGIB. Fees will no longer contribute to rarity farming. Currently, in the proposal outlined here, the 2% that Pixelcraft currently earns will be the main source for refunding the pool. Now, if we, in the future, not saying that it's going to be for this proposal, but in the future, if the program is actually doing well and is sustainable, then I could imagine more rewards going into it to kind of add oil to the fire. But we wouldn't do that until the program is proven to. Basically, success for us looks like there's more ghosts going into the pool each round than is being given out. That's success. And part of that ghost comes from the tricks and treats being purchased. Part of it also comes from fees from the bazaar. So whereas I've seen other staking programs that don't have that aspect of them, like they're only funded by themselves, and those generally don't work out. So what we're trying to do here is kind of have like a hybrid program where part of it is funded by itself in the fact that if you want to earn the rewards, you need to spend Ghost, but part of it is trying to grow larger than the program itself by having those funds coming from more sustainable sources like trading.
So this staking, is it all active kind of participation, or can you just stake however much at one point and then forevermore you'll earn at least something from it? Or just do you really need to be active and buying and stealing
Yeah,
belly?
you don't have to, like, but the amount that you get every round will just go down and down and down as other people are playing more actively.
Right.
So if you just put 100 ghost and 100 belly size, then the amount of yield that you'll earn each round will just go down if you're not playing it more actively. We're trying to create, I mean, we're trying to find a balance here between like actually having to actively play all the games in Aavegotchi versus just being like a totally passive investor. I know the more of the dream is that everyone just wants pure passive income, but it's like not something that is really like that sustainable to do.
Yeah, for sure. And can you go the other way around if you want to jump in like a whale? If you just stake 10,000 ghosts, will you be somewhat
Mhm.
untouchable other than having a giant target on your back belly?
No, so
How?
I see another question, which is that what's the reason to limit the amount of people that people can stake, and that those kind of are tied together. The game is designed to be like we don't want someone being able to come in with, let's say, 500,000 ghost, and just from day one they're able to own the pool. We want there to be everyone. You're kind of competing for it because in competition that's where the yield can be generated. So if someone has a lot of ghost, but they want to participate, they can't just come in and drop 100 of that 500,000 ghost into their gotchis pocket and start earning 500K worth of yield. They still have to build up the belly size of their Aavegotchi, or they can also buy someone else's gotchi that has belly size as well.
Right, right. And how do we see who else is running around with a nice fat belly? Is it just going to be a leaderboard, or is there going to be something
Yeah,
a
we'll
little
have
bit more?
we'll have a basic dashboard if the community votes to implement this. We can make a basic dashboard that shows a leaderboard, and there'll be a little Hungry Ghost dashboard where you can see different moves that you can make and other people are making. How much time would that take away from your revenue generating efforts? So I would consider this. I mean, a staking program for a token is almost essential. The fact that we don't have a staking program right now uh is not good for Ghost, and what's good for Ghost is also good for the DAO and Pixelcraft, because we also have Ghost. So I consider this also, it's not directly revenue generating, but anything that is helping increase the value of Ghost by providing utility is also a good thing to be working on. So we have multiple teams. We have Solidity team, front end team. Those would be the two teams mainly involved in this, and then we have Gotchiverse team, Gotchi Guardians, and those initiatives wouldn't really be directly affected by this.
Would this belly trait potentially be usable in other games or other ways? Is this some like a trait that would be equivalent to the other traits potentially?
Yeah, exactly. It'll be a fully on-chain trait. Other games could use it if they would like to.
Interesting.
Someone asked about Aave earlier. Where was that? Aave is not on Geist, and unfortunately, just because we pushed pretty hard to try and get Chainlink to launch on Geist, but they were asking pretty ridiculous amounts of money to do it, just to have the APIs, and they wanted us to do like actually, they didn't even give us the option of doing like the full package for what do they call it? I forget the name of it now, but it wasn't even an option. And Aave only deploys on chains that have Chainlink, like the whole Chainlink suite. So not really an option, unfortunately, at this point. Maybe in the future though, because yeah, I would love to be able to have yield of the token itself, but it's not possible on. Well, they removed it from Aave when we removed the bonding curve, so haven't really been able to get that back.
We have a question, another one from Immaterial here. So if all the gotchis get a minimum belly size, won't that mean the total belly size would be huge? So if 19,000 gotchis have a minimum 25 belly size, then that's 475k total belly right there. A gotchi with 1,000 belly size would only receive 475
I mean, that is assuming
share
that
of the total yield.
every gotchi has Ghost staked inside of it.
Cool. So the
Which
staking of the
there's a
ghost
lot
is
of
like you're opting in,
yeah,
and
exactly.
then
So
from
every
there,
gotchi would have the minimum belly size that you'd have to work up. Like it might start at 25 or 50 or 100, but if you don't stake actual Ghost in that Aavegotchi, you're not going to earn yield. So it's kind of a two-part system.
it's a zero stake, and you're a skinny gotchi.
Yeah, you can be. You're like a fat but very hungry gotchi. You got belly size, but you don't have any Ghost in you, so you're really a hungry Ghost at that point.
Hungry. Mm-hmm.
Very hungry.
And see, that is a useful trait in the game for sure.
Dort, I did think about some use cases for glitter, but I just like Essence. I think we need to prove that the program itself kind of will actually be sustainable before we add other tokens in, I think. But I would definitely like to see some use cases for glitter as well. You could imagine things like spending glitter to offset, like spending a certain amount of glitter to offset how much your belly size is reduced when you, like, if you want to rage quit your Ghost from your gotchi. That could be like one use case. There's a couple others, but I didn't want to complicate things too much. by throwing glitter in the mix this early. But yeah, if just having belly size and no ghost staked does not allow you to earn yield. You got to have both. And also, if you have 1,000 belly size and 10,000 ghost staked, you're only going to earn 1,000 ghost worth of yield for that round.
So what happens at the end of each round if you're doing nothing for the AFK people? I've
Yeah,
staked my,
you'll be able to claim your amount for that round.
and then I'll automatically be in for the next round.
Mhm.
Just, yeah, cool. And do any of the
BRS
other
does
traits
matter. BRS, if we implement the minimum stake, similar to how we did it with the collateral, then BRS would matter to some extent. And the traits, yeah, we're not, again, trying not to overcomplicate this kind of genesis or pilot. But I personally, I would like to see the traits, and if it's not too much work, then we could potentially add them into the genesis phase. But the more of the point here is that this is like, it's an accessible staking program for people that have Ghost and want to also own an Aavegotchi, but they're not necessarily going to do all the rarity farming. Like, it's more for giving more of an active use case for the Ghost and Aavegotchi combination.
And these tricks and treats, they're going to be GBM'd, are they? Or
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so there's no fix. We don't know how much they're gonna go for. We're as far as like how many. The initial idea is to put out about 900 per round, so that would be, it would be like a random mix of tricks and treats every round. We would use VRF to determine which which trick or treat is going to be going out in each auction. So it'll be a fully automated process. Every 8 hours, the Open Zeppelin Defender just launched on Geist, and so that will basically just auto mint, use Chainlink VRF or Geist VRF, which that we're making, and that would auto mint the tricks and treats each round.
that, as far as the 8-hour time frame goes, is that, would there be like maybe 2 8-hour time frames going so that people in the other time zones and the
Yeah,
other side
exactly. It's actually
with
3 times a day.
3
So
times?
it's, yeah, it's kind of timed. Obviously, there's going to be some, like,
Mm-hmm.
it's assumed that people are going to snipe the initial bid because that's just what happens with GBM. But if you want to be if you want to actually get the item in the final round, like the final 20 minutes, you'll need to be online or have have a bot kind of snipe it for you.
For sure. And all going well, when would you be hoping for this to start? How long would it take to get this off the ground?
So the smart contracts, I've already written quite a bit of it. It's fairly complex, so we'll probably want to get at least some form of an audit on it. I think like April, May would be potential to have it live.
Also, we still have plenty of time to come up with ideas and ways of playing around with the idea.
Yeah, just looking at the other concerns here. 10K staking program. It is, but if it's not sustainable at 10K, I don't know if it'll be sustainable at 100K either. The goal here is not to give away a bunch of money, but it's to see if this game mechanic is interesting to people, and the competition, there's like enough competition at the higher levels to make the game sustainable. Zygo, I don't really agree with that. Just, I mean, I enjoy writing the smart contract, so part of it was just seeing if the idea was feasible, which it is. It does work. You can use. I know how it's implemented, but I don't think it would have been responsible to come and ask if the DAO wants to do this without knowing whether it can be done or not.
There's a few comments here about the stealing concept. So that's stealing your belly size, not in any way touching the ghost you actually have staked, right?
No, it's not taking your ghost. It is taking your progress. Yeah, so it's not really stealing your money, but it's stealing your progress. But you can, I mean, that was why we were going to offer Iron Belly as an item that you can play every round if you want to protect your belly all the time. But I think it's a little bit more degen to have it as an item that you have to buy.
Mm-hmm. It's definitely something that would be in high demand, and if you just happen to not manage to get your hands on it one round, well, that would definitely spice things up a lot.
What if tricks are applied to random gotchis instead of targeting directly?
Oh dear.
Yeah, it also, we don't have to go like too extremely degen with the tricks. I mean, there's a spectrum of reducing someone's stake a little bit or like stealing it from them, and the most degen would be like flipping stakes. I'm gonna play this item and it's gonna switch out my belly size for your belly size. Like that would be pretty degen. I don't know if we need to go that degen. But having like being able to steal someone else's belly size is kind of the most vanilla implementation. But yeah, this is an idea. It's feasible. I think it fills kind of a niche that I would like to fill. But at the same time, if people are lukewarm on the idea, also I'm just not gonna. We got other things to focus on as well. So also fine. But I wanted to present this idea to the community and see what the temperature check is on it.
I think, yeah, staking is definitely something I think there's an appetite for. I guess possibly just need some time to get our heads around the idea and see what the options are for how this could play out, and what potential future options might be. Because, like you said, this would be a pilot to start with. So, what it could look like down the line could be very different or complex or integrated even further. So, it's early days, as you say. So, anyone that has any ideas, questions, thoughts, the thread is there. Um, let's have it. Jump on in and let's see where we can take this idea. So we're looking at some comments here for factoring BRFs and wearables into the mix. So yeah, definitely. I think this is one that could get some traction. Awesome. Well, I think the ideas will keep coming. What's this one?
Yeah, thanks, friends. If you have any comments or feedback, please drop it in the Hungry Ghosts DAO discussion channel. So we can just move discussion there.
Awesome. So the link is in the chat there for everyone. And yeah, looking forward to seeing what ideas we can come up with. What is this? So, Dragon, what are you dropping? Very good. Well, the only other thing I had on the agenda here was Diddley has a thread going for a revised ETH sell ladder. We have a prop for selling some ETH that we have for the DAO. There's been some sentiment that ETH is not doing what we had hoped so far, so some people have decided it might be a good idea to revise the sell ladder. So there's a few options. So far, we have one option where we change the sell points into 4 equal tranches of 300 ETH and sell at targets of 5, 5.5, 6, and 6,500. And the second option is selling first round of 150 ETH at 4.5K, then 3 loads at 5, 5.5, and 6, and they're 300 ETH lumps, and then another one again at 6.5K. So those are the two options that have been discussed. But then, as always, we've had a few people throwing into the mix that we should be potentially putting in some buy orders in between there if we do hit any of them, even some outrageously low ones just in case. So if anyone has any thoughts on this, the thread is just posted there by FaZe, because Diddley sounds like he's going to be posting this very soon. So if anyone has any ideas or concerns, jump in there. The biggest concern at the moment with the prop is going to be that it looks like there's going to be 5 options for voting, so that always makes things difficult as far as hitting quorum. So if anyone has any ideas on that, please jump on in as well. But other than that, I don't have anything else on my list. If anyone has anything they want to jump in and discuss, any ideas or anything, please jump on in.
Yeah, all good on my side.
All good, lovely. Well, other than that, we have 3 events currently running. So we have the dropped, which we had a little update on earlier in the call, but we have Rarity Farming Season 10. That is underway. First snapshot is happening on the 20th of January, and the Gotchi Battler tournament is on as well. So it's all happening. We're starting off the new year with a bang. Plenty of things to keep us occupied. Yes, this is true. Good question. Do we have any ideas on when we're going to get some rarity farming badges happening again? Season 10 is a nice number. Very cool. Dropping
Yeah,
in
we'll get those dropped
Geist.
on Geist.
Excellent.
It'll be a
And did I
nice
see?
badge delivery after the migration happens.
Very true. And I see there's some XP coming our way as well.
Yep. Gonna try to
When?
get that. Do kind of have a busy day tomorrow, but should be able to get a little bit of XP dropped very soon.
Awesome. Be keeping an eye out. Very cool. So there we are.
Awesome,
I do
friends.
like our
Well,
badges.
hope you guys have a great Saturday and Sunday and weekend, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you very much. Thanks everyone that
Thanks
came on
for
and
hosting
everyone that
for
joined us.
See you guys. Have a
My
good week.
pleasure.
Stay warm.
You too, sir. Peace.
Ciao,
Stay
guys.
awesome.